Hello and welcome to part 2 of my Reddit slop tent. In the previous video, we were reacting to the original post for I came to LA 8 years ago to pursue filmmaking, and I think I've completely fallen out of love with it. I actually spent so much time talking about just that original post that I think it was better to separate these two out. So if for some reason you stumbled upon part 2 without part 1, go ahead and back and check that out. I'll link it somewhere, I don't know, in the comment below or up top. I don't know how YouTube works. I'll link it somewhere for you. This video we're going to be going over the comments specifically and the responses. The Reddit hive mind is super intriguing to me. There's some awesome knowledge drops on there, and there's some really bad ranted takes, and I love both of them. In this video we're going to be going over these comments and discussing my thoughts and responses to their responses. I'm responding to a response of a request for advice. Anyways, it's a mess. Please enjoy this video. And again, if you have any thoughts, please leave a comment below. I love comments. I want to respond to them. I'm more interested in just building a community and talking with you guys than I am even getting views. So please go ahead and do that. Thank you. We're going to go ahead and rewind time to Eric in the past when I originally filmed this. Different pipe, different Eric, and let's watch. All right. Let's get into these responses from the people of Reddit, which we know is great.
All I can share is that I hope you can learn to look at these past 8 years differently. They absolutely were not a waste. They were not a failure. I was born in 1962, and when I was a teen, I was you. Except I borrowed my friend's dad's 8mm camera, bought an editor at a flea market, and made films. And when I saw Jaws, I wanted to be the next Spielberg. But back in 1980, I went off to business school to pursue a practical career. I've worked 40 years in business, checking my creative self at the door. No, locking him in a closet. My point. You chased your dream and will never have to wonder like I do. In the last 8 years, you've helped hundreds of artists tell their stories. Me? I jumped around business jobs, not really finding my way until I was 40. Had a successful career and am now in retirement. I am making films. It's an expensive hobby, but I love it. But you did not wait. You did what millions of dreamers dream of, but never even try. And your story as a filmmaker is not over. But it does sound like it's time to make a career change. Related, overlapping, or some sort of parallel industry would be great. But it doesn't have to be. Find something you can enjoy doing, ideally with normal business hours. Work on your happiness. But that does not mean you failed at filmmaking or your filmmaking story is over. A huge congratulations from an old guy for having the courage and confidence to do what I did not. You are a success from my seed already, but my money is on you that you will look back on this moment as a critical turning point for you. Final thought. In your life, you are what? Page 29 of the script. Act 1 is just winding down. Strap yourself in. Spoiler alert from a guy on page 65 of his script. Act 3 is freaking awesome.
These old heads, you know, they've got some good points, but you can't really listen to them. Like 1962, this person's a boomer. Their life is over. He has money, probably. I mean, it sounds like he took about 40 years to get into his industry, but he made money. Now he's just chilling like a villain. Like he doesn't have time to do anything super crazy epic. I'm sorry if you're in your mid to late 60s. Like there's no, unless you have money. You could make a career. You could easily make a career, actually, if you wanted to, because that's the one thing that young people don't have. But you do have the energy? No. So you can't really listen. I mean, this is a sweet sentimental, but it's fluff, just like the rest of the boomer stuff.
DK, if this will make you feel any better, but I just had this same conversation almost with 3 other people. Today, 3. You are not alone. You are not alone at all. This business is falling off a cliff. I was just on a tiny little shoot this week with a tiny little budget for a huge client. None of us were getting paid a full rate. I looked up one of the other department heads cause she seemed like she really knew her shit. I was thinking, what is she doing here? I checked out her website. Insane, amazing resume. Working for pennies right along with the rest of us. She looked tired and stressed. I know 2 ASCDPs who have quit the business. They had enough money to retire early, but both were completely disheartened with what the industry has become in the last 5 to 7 years. The entire mood has changed, and each year less and less work. Sadly, I think worse is Jewist around the corner. AI is coming for everybody.
Good comment. Totally true. These people on these sets you meet sometimes are just crazy resume, worked for 20, 30, 40 years in the industry and have real movies, real credentials, and they're just working for the same rate you are. I mean, maybe a little bit more, but it's like, you just look at them and you go, in 30 years, do I want to be doing this exact thing I'm doing right now? Maybe you do, maybe you don't. I know 2 ASC DPs who have quit the business, and that's why you need to not listen to these ASC boomer DPs. They worked at a different time. They're not willing to put in the work anymore. I'm sure they worked their asses off in the day, but it's such a different ball game that they can't even cope. So they just leave. Why not? You know, maybe you should too. It's a total different ball game. Stop taking advice from these boomer old heads. It's just, they don't even know what the industry is. We understand the technology and we understand the world, and we still can't conceptualize the industry right now and how to make it. Like, these old heads are totally lost for it. But, you know, blessed be them. They have an immense retirement and a great time of memories behind them. Oh, I'm going to retire early as a DP. Fuck me. That life sounds great. I wish I had, you know, an early retirement as a DP with enough money. That sounds fucking great.
You sound like you were about 30 and doing normal or better than normal in terms of work, but disillusioned. That all tracks. Your younger self would see you as a success, and yet we dream, or worse, we lose our dreams, ever so slowly over years, until it is just work and life becomes a meaningless set of tasks while our relationships suffer. This can happen in any industry, to be honest. The good news is you are very young and can reinvent yourself a few times still. Find passion again, somewhere perhaps, or a pivot from how you use your talents. Have a dream file on the side that you develop projects for the original spirit of why you wanted to be a filmmaker. Yes, that takes time and money, and that is hard on relationships, or to carve time out if you are working, but it is rewarding. Even just shooting a music video for free, or a super short 3-minute short to get in festivals, can do a lot to revive your love for cinema. As AI takes over, I think creative documentary work will become more important, and that could be work exploring. It's okay to shift gears. You won't be starting over. You have all your life experience. It is more like changing the hiking trail while you are near the top of the mountain. You can stay up high. You don't have to go back down to the start. And with the change, a new view and path opens up.
Yeah, they're just basically telling you to quit. Yeah, and I see on Reddit and in the industry a lot of these feel good, you know, try a passion project on the side and do this, and great, you know, it's fun, like, sure, but it's a lot of effort and a lot of time for what? To just revive your cinematic passion? No. A lot of people want to see growth. They want to see scale. I know myself personally, I want to see growth and scale, but I don't see any path forward towards that. And that's kind of the wall.
I'm about to walk away from union gripping after 8 years. Just like you. I don't get excited being on set anymore apart from doing small-time passion projects, either for me or others. While my reasons for quitting are different from yours, I think the underlying reasons might be similar. Do you feel like you've gone as far as this path you're on can take you? Because that's the case for me. So I'm leaving and dedicating a few months at least to just family and clearing my mind. After that, even if I were to return to film, it'll be with a fresh outlook. With all that rambling out of the way, maybe it's time for a break for you. Take a few weeks if you can. Do something else completely unrelated to film. See how feel afterwards. Maybe a new path opens up for you. Who knows?
Yeah, but you know, you gotta be careful with this guy. Has a good point. He's working in the industry. He's gripping. He's gaffing. That's hard work. He's been in it for 8 years, so he's probably our same age, and he's totally disillusioned and burnt out. I mean, it's totally acceptable to be burnt out. You just gotta be careful with long breaks. A small sit becomes a long sit, as they say, especially for creative types or people that tend to be creative. Really gotta be careful. Do you want to get? Maybe this is time to buckle down even harder.
Feels like if you can see yourself doing anything else and be happy, then maybe you should do that type situation. But honestly, I've always thought making it in this industry required a crawl through an incredibly long bottleneck. I'm still in that bottleneck, but I'm still crawling. It really is just a lottery, waiting for that moment where opportunity meets preparation. Maybe you just need to shake it up and try something new that's still within the industry. I used to write for online news sites for a living until I realized it was making me hate writing, and I wasn't doing any creative writing at home. So I got more into production, and I found it easier to want to write in my spare time when my day job was no longer pounding a keyboard. This might sound awful or counterintuitive, but maybe consider trying to find an office-type job that's still in the industry. Just learn a different side of the industry. Whatever you choose, I wish you the best of luck, because unless your last name is Bruckheimer or Coppola or Pitt, you're in the same lottery I am.
Yeah, this is a really depressing take. Reading this, that you just have to slog forward until you happen to hit the lottery, that's just really saddening, that there's not a productive industry here or productive way to make money. Yeah, it's quite depressing. And this is what a lot of people think. I mean, this is what a lot of people tell you. You just gotta wait till you hit that one big, until the right person sees this, until you do this. But, you know, I guess what he's saying is preparation meets luck, but I really don't think so. I think that maybe in the 90s and 80s that was the case, or maybe that was because a few wealthy people did massive corporate takeovers. We can get into the history of that later. But this whole history of you just gotta wait, make it, is a lie. you look at the family lineage of people that are making it, you look at their parents' net worth, and it just all kind of aligns. So that's even back into the 90s. You gotta do some history deep dives on this stuff. And, you know, even the greats that you say, oh, they just got discovered. They just wandered into a backlot, and next thing they know, they're the most productive director at Paramount. Really? Are we really gonna believe that? I mean, we love believing movies and how fantastical they are, but, you know.
The industry is a lie factory, and the greatest lie it sells is about itself. No shame in falling for it. Everyone has, whether in it or not. Maybe a little less as the industry wanes and fractures, but still, it's shrinking. So whatever rung you're on now, you won't be moving up. And if you don't love that rung, if you don't love the craft anymore, then leave it. Again, no shame in this. To everything there is a season. This one transitions to the next. So let yourself move to the next season. Get an easier job with lower stress, so you can pursue film on the weekends instead. Doing it as a hobby can rekindle your love for the craft. Or don't touch it again, and do some other kind of art. Then when you get bored of that, do another kind of art. Your life doesn't have to be one thing. You had a filmmaking season. Leave it on a high note, let it be beautiful in the rearview. Then lean into the next season, and savor the opportunity to change and grow.
This is very comment that I would make also. Yeah, move on. Are you really going to beat out the competition? Take a good hard look at the competition, the ones that you said fought tooth and nail for what they're doing, the ones where you want to be, and are you willing to do that? If you're not, nah, get the fuck out. There's so many better industries. There are so many better industries. So many that will pay you more, will give you more freedom, will give you a better work-life balance. You can even do this creatively. There's lots of niche. You have a niche experience. You can work for some of these. You can work for Panavision in a corporate role. So you can still be film adjacent, working on movies, working on this, but in a way better industry. Those are going away though. You want to get you better get into those now, because a lot of people like us that are burning out and not making it, they're gonna be going fighting for those jobs, and those jobs are even coveted and held. So there's a lot. Or just get out fully.
Look, man, fuck it. This is art. Sometimes it makes you money, sometimes it doesn't. Honestly, what the fuck else is there to do as an artist? Just do it for yourself. Don't worry about money, friends, memories, and the fact that you did it. At the end of it all, we die anyhow. So, at least you lived it better than the slags who didn't even try.
I see comments like this all the time on Reddit. I'm talking to people in LA. Like, this is such a dreamer. Like, oh man, it's for the art, man. You can't make money. Yeah, what about his long-term relationship he gave for this? There's way more than monetary stuff on the line. What about his soul? What about living? What about eating? What about these things? Like, I just cannot stand these comments of these dreamers that are telling you to just do it for the love of art. You know, yeah, I'd love to see who their favorite artists are that do it just for the love of art. And you know what? Everybody is doing it just for the love of art. There's way easier industries to make money in, but you have to eat, you have to live, you have to not be stressed, you have to not hate your body, you don't have to hate your life. And he does have a point though. I mean, if you're not willing to do it for nothing, you're probably not going to make it. Or if you don't have the capacity to do it for nothing, which is what a lot of your competition is like. You know, the rich kids, the people with partners that have a lot of income. Yeah. There you have it. Thank you for watching the first Studio Numinous project. It's been fun making this, and hopefully we can go over some more dreaded filmmaking history. We can touch on all kinds of different topics, and thank you for watching. Yeah, let me know if you have any thoughts below. I'm curious your experience in the industry. How are you feeling about it right now? Is it booming? Are there other areas that could be worth pursuing? What would your advice be to this poster here? Anyways, don't stop creating and have a good time.